Assalamu alaikum, merhaba, bonjour, hello. My name is Shuman Basar. Welcome to the 2015 Global Art Forum Download Update, question mark. Question mark's very important. We'll find out why very soon. I am the large director. My largeness, however, is completely eclipsed by these two gentlemen on my right, Sultan Saud Al-Qasimi and Turi Munt, who are and who have been this edition's co-directors. We'll hear from them more imminently. And then I also have to mention the incredible Uns Katan, who's the Global Art Forum coordinator, a kind of magic maker who's made all of this possible, and really without her, we wouldn't be on these couches on this stage with this crisp sound quality. Thank you, Uns, and thank you to the other people on our team, to Rasil and to Noor. Last and certainly not least, thank you to you, our audiences, physical and virtual. Everything we do it for you. So a few words just generally for those of you, hopefully I recognize some of the faces in the room. Thank you so much for coming back, and perhaps there are some new faces in the room. So we just wanted to say a few words about the Global Art Forum as part of our welcome today. So for the last 5 years, the Global Art Forum has taken pleasure in thinking, the modes of thinking, the modes of address, and we've made this public. We are promiscuous in our interests. Art, either contemporary or otherwise, is not given VIP treatment in the Global Art Forum. Curiosity, unlike fossil fuels and polar bears, is, we believe, inexhaustible. Michel Foucault once defined the madman as someone who breaks the hidden kinship between things in the known universe. He said that the poet does the opposite. She sees the hidden kinship and expresses it to the rest of us. Salvador Dali must have been a poet, for in his paranoid critical method, he sought evidence to theories after the theory was postulated. We hope over the next few days the Global Art Forum reveals hyperlinks that you've never considered before, and from here on will seem eminently obvious. We hope to discover evidence to theories that have not yet been proffered. And if we manage to make you flinch from your phone screens, from your Facebook feeds, and the incessant addictive swiping left, then we're doing our job. So I'm going to hand over to Sultan. Sultan, perhaps you could tell us a little bit more about our theme, download update, question mark.
Thank you, Shuman. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I forgot one thing. 1 minute. Sorry, I forgot a very important thing, which is to say that the 2015 Global Art Forum is presented by Dubai Culture and Arts Authority, Dubai Culture, and supported by Dubai Design District, and that the 2015 Global Art Forum Kuwait has been supported by the Tamdeen Group and takes place at Dar al-Athar al-Islamiyya in association with Sultan Gallery and Nukat. Global Art Forum Kuwait is accompanied by special exhibitions and events across the city, and that the International New York Times is our international media partner of the Global Art Forum. Thank you to all of them. Sorry, Sultan. Thank you.
No worries. We should always make sure to thank our generous sponsors. So thanks, Shuman, for that great introduction. So we're very excited. We've been, I think, working with the great team of Art Dubai, putting together this schedule for you under the theme, download, update, question mark. And Shuman was very right. There's a question mark at the end. And the idea is to try and explore the impact of technology on the worlds of art and culture. And when all of us encounter this question, download, update, would you like to be updated? Would you like to have the latest software? Would you like to be as current as possible? And the question really is, how current do you need to be? Do you need to have the latest software as soon as it is out? Or do you maybe wait until someone else tries it out for a few days or a few weeks? Maybe there's an update to the update. Maybe you want to just stay with whatever software you're comfortable with, rather than try something that is, completely fresh and still not tested. Now, about Kuwait, as Shuman said, we've had a couple of days in Kuwait which were absolutely fantastic. We had great support on the ground in Kuwait, as well as the team here in Dubai. We started the Global Art Forum there just a few days ago, recapping the impact of technology on the culture in the Gulf and in Kuwait specifically. We began with hosting Sulaiman Al-Askari, who was one of the most important personalities in the past half a century in the Gulf, who really witnessed the creation of culture, the creation of the modern Kuwaiti culture as we know it, the 1950s, 60s, 70s, the first color printer, for example. And then we carried on throughout the forum and we explored the documentation, the archiving of this culture that largely took place in private galleries such as Sultan Gallery and other institutions. And finally, we ended on the critique of this culture, the culture that was created in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, this art that is critiqued by the GCC collective. We had a huge session of all 8 of the GCC. Some of them had to sit on the armrests because there were just, there were so many of them, and it was a great session. And we also explored the impact of technology on the world of business and commerce in the Middle East. It went very well. People opened up their homes for us. The galleries opened up, especially for us. Museums rehang their works. We had special visits to the Arab Fund, which I consider to be one of the most beautiful buildings in the region, with a collection that I think exceeds 1,000 works, so one of the largest collectors of work. But ultimately, we really stuck to our theme of the impact of technology. And I think Turi now will be telling us about how this theme will carry on over the next 3 days. Turi?
I'm slightly the concierge here, but before I get to that part, the first thing that both Sultan and I wanted to do was to plug Shumon, who's very modest, his new book, which has just come out. He co-wrote it with Hans-Ulrich Obrist and Douglas Copeland, and it's called The Age of Earthquakes, and it's spectacular, and it touches on quite a lot of the themes that we're looking at here. So part of the download update question mark is sort of to test out whether well, there's the answer. I was going to say
nothing like a backseat moderator.
Was to question whether we are as in control of technology as we think we are. And that's, I think, some of the themes that we really want to get stuck into over the course of the next 2 days. Whether technology is ours to manipulate and own and push and tweak as we wish for our own purposes, or whether actually technology has started to have an ever-growing pervasive impact on us. Whether we're in charge anymore, clearly not. So today, we're going to be looking, Kate Fowle is going to be moderating a session on new audiences, the kind of new audiences made possible by technology. Troy Terrian is going to be telling us about his work on architecture at the Guggenheim. I have got the enormous honor of talking with Christopher Bevan about, it says here too long didn't read. Turns out that it was too long, we didn't read, and that's the wrong blurb for the session. So we're going to be doing a sort of download update on fashion and technology. We then have a fabulous session with Lawrence Abu Hamdan and Lara Khaldi, who will be talking about speech and freedom. James Bridle with Omar Khalef are going to be talking about the human v tech. Fight off, play off. We keep on losing. I mean, I think we may as well wrap. And we're going to be ending today's session with, appropriately, a sort of history of media in the UAE, which is going to be moderated by Sultan. Concierge. This is...
I just fell.
I just fell.
That's
There's one over there.
That is our hashtag. This event wouldn't be complete without Twitter. Probably wouldn't have been possible without Twitter, actually. It certainly wouldn't have been possible without WhatsApp, which is the only way Shimon, Sultan, and I now talk to each other. So the Twitter hashtag is GAF9, and we're really going to be keeping an eye on it. So we're also going to be taking questions via that hashtag. So if you do have questions, one of us will be moderating and can ask those questions for you if, for some reason, you don't want to ask them yourselves. There's a break today. It's something that we've learned from previous GAF sessions, is that breaks are kind of important. Yeah. So we have a break at around, I think, 4:30. Importantly, in the main part of Art Dubai, there is an area called Forum, just because we could call it Forum, which will be...
Really?
You don't like that name? Which will be hosting videos of today's sessions tomorrow, if you see what I mean, and is already hosting videos of some of the sessions that we held in Kuwait and some of the sessions that we've held in previous editions of GAF. Please note and love and talk about the very beautiful accessories that we have to complement GAF. All this chat is incomplete without cushions, which actually is, this is like a Roman amphitheater. Good, bad, die, not die. Shimon, what have you got behind you? Here we're still loading.
We're still loading.
Sultan, what have you have?
Sultan doesn't have Wi-Fi. Imagine Sultan
which is
without
like
Wi-Fi.
no oxygen.
Terrible.
And then battery, well, that may be us by 7:30 tonight.
That's what we're working towards.
That's what we're working towards. There are badges everywhere. Nothing like branding. There are badges everywhere. We're wearing some of us wearing more than others. You'll find some.
There's some at the front of the stage.
Some here, and there are 2
bowls as you come in. There are 6 types, so please help yourself. And let everyone else know how exactly you're feeling. Brackets, not feeling, but want other people to think you're feeling.
There's Wi-Fi here. It's the iMedinet Wi-Fi. It's open. Please turn your phones to silent, but do not turn them off. And a final thing, the last session is going to be in Arabic. So if you didn't pick up headsets before coming in, you can pick up headsets from just through there during the break. And now, over to you.
Fantastic. Okay, without further ado, onto our first session of the day, which is called Strangers Welcome, New Invisible Publics. Question: are we perhaps reaching a point where we know more people online that we have never met than people IRL, in real life? Perhaps we were scared by this once. Perhaps we no longer are. This is simply the texture of life, where we are more connected and yet perhaps also able to feel more alone because of that infinite connectivity. Perhaps we no longer wish to be individuals, nor crowds, something else. What does this all mean to institutions that in the past have measured their part of their relevance through that old-fashioned word, footfall? What does it mean to imagine your audience as people in Bogota or Birmingham who are clicking and posting and liking, or, worst of all, doing none of the above? To explore these and more issues, we have the great honor of having Gala Berger, an artist and co-founder of Museo La N, Galeria Emigrante and Urgente Platform; Gabriel Perez Barrio, director and chief curator, the Colección Patricia Felt de Cisneros, forgive my Spanish; and Jack Persekian, director and head curator of the incredible Palestine Museum. And hosting the session, we're thrilled to have Kate Fowle, who is chief curator of the Garage Museum of Contemporary Art. So will you please join in welcoming Gala, Gabrielle, Jack, and Kate. Thank you.